I love Sonic the Hedgehog as one of my first memories of sitting around with the entire family playing a video game. We would watch my brother as he controlled Sonic through 6 levels, each more different than the last, battling the bosses of each individual zone, but this was not the Sonic we know, love or remember on the Sega Genesis. This was 8-bit Sonic on the Sega Master System, the first in a series of games which did not see a release across some areas of the world, this being due to the demise of the Master System in North America. So for the benefit to those who have not played them, let's check out 4 Sonic the Hedgehog games you may not have played. Sonic the Hedgehog. For the most part, my teenage years I was an Amiga kid, so I missed out on the latter 16-bit era. However, from time to time, I would indulge in a few sessions of Sega Megadrive at a friend's house, or Genesis as it's known in the US. Though I enjoyed the 16-bit Sonic games, there was a special place in my heart for the 8-bit era. This was maybe because my introduction to gaming was through my brother's Sega Master System, at which time I had an NES, and thought that Sonic followed the same progression as Mario, having the 8-bit incarnation first, and then moving on to the 16-bit consoles. Yet this was not the case, and it was only through researching this video I realised the 8-bit Sonic was made to promote the sales of Sega's handheld cousin to the Master System, the Game Gear, a system which also captured my imagination as a teenager, being able to play games on the move in full colour rather than Game Boy's black and white offering, or green offering. This may have been down to my visual impairment, as full colour offering of the Game Gear and the larger screen size was easy to see. I would have a similar experience with Sonic 2, but more on that later. I was also faced with higher battery bills, but we won't go into that. I recently picked up the 8-bit Sonic the Hedgehog and was reminded of another time in my childhood, some years later when I was staying at my grandparents' house. I found a system which, along with the pack-in Alex Kidd in Miracle World, had the original Sonic cartridge. All I remember is I was around 12 years old at the time, going through a hard time. I spent the entire weekend playing through the game's diverse levels and mastering each one along with the boss patterns to finally complete the game. So what is it about the original 8-bit offering that had so much charm? Sonic for the Master System followed its 16-bit counterpart in its story, where you go through a series of 6 levels, each separate into zones, the final of which has a unique boss battle with one of Dr. Robotnik's unique contraptions of death, in order to save your animal friends from the cruel fate of being turned into robots. Though the zones are much different to the 16-bit offering, they have their own uniqueness, taking you through grassy plains, ruins, jungles and labyrinths, collecting rings and chaos emeralds to free the land from Robotnik's tyranny. The level design has some unique qualities and quirks, including a constantly scrolling level where you have to keep up with the screen, to a level where you platform jump vertically up a waterfall, or have to find a way around a maze. The music of each level is also nothing to be sniffed at, as each level has its own entertaining and uplifting jingle. What also makes the game more impressive is that it was a first-time game for the developer, and very much a family affair. To produce the 8-bit offering of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega approached composer Yozo Koshiro to develop the game after his work as composer for Revenge of Shinobi. In taking up the offer, Koshiro found it ancient to produce and publish the game, with the behind-the-scenes help of his sister Ayona Koshiro and mother Tomo Koshiro. Sonic was released in November of 1991 for the Master System in Europe, with the Game Gear release coming just a month later, 5 months after the 16-bit version. It was also the only Sonic game to be released on the Master System in North America, as the system was discontinued shortly after, though it would enjoy life in Japan and Europe for years later, leading the 8-bit Sonic the Master System game to become a highly collectible item in North America. The game would be re-released on PS2 XBOX GameCube as part of the Sonic Mega Collection and as part of Sonic Adventures DX as an unlockable feature. There was also a release in the Nintendo 3DS store, although I'm not sure if that's available at the moment because I don't have a Nintendo capable of accessing the store. But if you can get your hands on this game, honestly guys, I would recommend it. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sega Master System and Game Gear. I was a late adopter of Sonic 2, as it was one of the games I received for Christmas with my Game Gear. I had played the Megadrive Genesis version with friends. I was expecting there to be some similarities, but what I was greeted with when booting up the Game Gear for the first time on Christmas Day of 1994 was something quite different. Yes, Tails is present, but the plot of the game differentiates itself quite distinctly from its 16-bit counterpart. Tails has been captured by the evil Dr. Robotnik, and Sonic must speed through 7 distinctly different levels, separated into zones collecting rings and Chaos Emeralds in order to rescue his friend. Also, did you know that Tails' full name is Miles Tails Power? I didn't. Interesting fact. So, although there are differences here, some of the things remained. Sonic can now break through walls like he can in the original 16-bit game, but he does not have the spin dash, although he can now collect rings when he gets hit, which is an improvement from the original 8-bit game. Levels are faster and more chaotic, and Sonic can now make use of vehicles such as carts and hang gliders, though sometimes this can be hard to control, and to be honest, personally, if I can avoid using them I will. A more difficult offering than the first game in my opinion, but all the elements that made the original fun are still there, the distinct level design, the engaging bonus battles, even some of the funky music. The levels now have branching paths, encouraging a bit more exploration, and you need to find all the 6 Chaos Emeralds in order to rescue Tails. The graphics and the sound are a step up from the original, and push to hardware. My only issue with the Master System version is the hideous green border, which shrinks the screen size somewhat. Yes, there is a border on the other Sonic games, but it's not as intrusive as in this one. Thankfully nowadays, due to upscaling, we can remove that border. For me, the Game Gear offering was more engaging than the Master System, but this is personal preference, and probably due to the fact that the Game Gear didn't really have much of a border, at least one I could see anyway. The 8-bit Sonic 2 has no connection with the 16-bit version. It was developed by Aspect and published by Sega, released on both Master System and Game Gear in November of 1992, alongside its Megadrive Genesis counterpart. Although the Master System version remained exclusive to the PAL regions until its release as part of the Sonic Gems collection in 2005, and its inclusion in the Wii Virtual Console in 2008. I think it might have been part of the Sonic DX collection, I am not entirely sure. Sonic 2 on the Master System and Game Gear was a thoroughly enjoyable experience for me, and reliving the game to record this video brought back some really fond memories. Worth checking out, guys. Sonic Chaos. When you're a child, it seems like time passes more quickly, and by the Christmas of 1993, I had my Amiga 1200. Console gaming was a thing of the past. Yes, I would still play with friends, but most of us back in the day soon joined the Amiga bandwagon due to the abundance of games and the ease in which we could build our collection. I'll do a video on that at some point. So, I never got to play Sonic Chaos until much later, when I had my Game Gear in 1994, and decades later on the Sega Master System. Yet, although a little bit of a step down from the previous games on the 8-bit systems, in my opinion, it still satisfies the urge to explore the world of our blue hedgehog on the go, or in 8-bit form. The levels are now a little shorter and the boss fights are a little bit less complex than previous games, yet the graphics are nice and colourful, with a level design based more on exploration, and works fine if you are electing to play as Tails, who has the ability to fly and take different routes to Sonic. Yes, you can play as Tails in this game. Sonic can now finally spin dash like he does on the Megadrive and Genesis versions of the game. The speed of the game is also now much faster. The sound design is also pretty good, in parts, other than the boss battle music. Oh god, it can be tiresome. The premise of the game is very similar to what fans of the series would know and expect. Go through each stage collecting rings, chaos emeralds and bonuses to defeat the Robotnik's evil contraptions at the end of each zone. The game seems to have a shorter completion time than most due to how short the levels can be. I was actually quite surprised playing through this, to be honest with you, because I'd gotten quite far in the game and didn't actually realise it, and I'd only been playing for a short time. Sonic Chaos was developed by Aspect Co. as a follow-up to Sonic 2, released for the Master System on October 25th, 1993, and for the Game Gear on November 19th to coincide with the release of Sonic CD in Japan. It was titled Sonic and Tails Chaos and included in the extra GameCube version of Sonic Adventures DX Director's Cut 2003 and one of the 11 unlockable Sonic Game Gear games in Sonic Mega Collection Plus 2005 on PlayStation 2, Xbox and PC. In 2009 it was digitally released for the Wii Virtual Console in North America. For me personally, I have to say I enjoyed the two prior Sonic games more, but this one however is still fun and a good way to spend a couple of hours, to be honest with you. Check it out guys if you can. Finally, Sonic Blast. The fourth and final game I am going to show on this today, I did not know existed until recently. Throughout the last few months I have rediscovered my love for the Sega Master System and retro gaming in general, hence this channel. However, Sonic Blast is probably the weakest title I am showcasing today. The game uses pre-rendered graphics to capitalise on the trend set by Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. It gives a weird 3D look. This is because the graphics are rendered in 3D and converted back to 2D afterwards. Personally, I don't really like this style and I never really got along with Donkey Kong Country. Perhaps it's something to do a video about later on. You know, maybe trying to play it and do a let's play of it and show you just how bad I am at that game. The major issue is, it presents a significant slowdown going through the game stages. Sonic feels sluggish playing through the 15 levels. There's something missing here. Critics at the time suggested it was a step back for the handheld offerings. For me personally, it's still an interesting Sonic game to play, but didn't really hold my interest. And to be honest with you, I was kind of getting bored after a few levels. Sonic Blast was developed by Aspect Co. and distributed worldwide for the Game Gear in 1996 and ported to the Master System in 1997. Wow. Bearing in mind, guys, the PlayStation released in 1995, so we're well into like the 32-bit gaming era at this point. So this was the tail end of both consoles' life cycles, and to be honest with you, if this was coming out for the Master System, then there's other countries in the world where the Master System was like, like the PlayStation 2 in Brazil, where like they didn't have like the next generation. So perhaps like in some areas of the world, they were still on the 8-bit generation and didn't have the 16-bit or 32-bit generations. But 1997 for the Master System, that's impressive. To be fair, it's an interesting experiment in my view that may not have hit the mark, but still worth checking out. So there you have it, guys, 4 Sonic the Hedgehog games you might not have played. Some of the older gamers probably did, if they remember the 8-bit era or the handheld era, but I thought with the release of Sonic Frontiers it would be worth doing this video and showcasing this to you guys, and it's something I've been enjoying playing lately. So yeah, so what do you think? Have you played these titles? If so, which was your favourite? Did you play a Sega Master System back in the day, guys? Or Sega Game Gear? What was your thoughts? Do you have any fond memories of using the system? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comment section below. The next video I'm going to be doing is PS1 games based on TV shows. I'm very much looking forward to finishing that and researching it at the moment. What do you think of this new style of content? If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and thumbs up. No, please give it a thumbs up or a like, or whatever you want to call it, in the comment section below, and drop us a subscribe, guys. This is a brand new channel, and it's going to have more content like this based on video essays. Might do some more let's plays. Let's just see how things go. Thank you very much, guys. I'm Jared Walters, and I'll see you again soon. Love ya. Bye.